We begin with continuing coverage of Tuesday's election, with Governor Albert Bryan Jr. and Lieutenant Governor Tregenza Roach winning their bid for re-election. Governor Bryan tells me he learned a lot during the campaign and will continue with his plans to move the USVI forward in the right direction.
First of all, congratulations on your win. What do you credit your re-election to?
I really credit the election to, first of all, the hard work that we have done over the last 4 years. But we just have some supporters that are just so energetic and creative. I think they're more sad than anyone that the election is over, because now they don't have 200 campaign events to go to over the next couple of months.
What are some of your key plans for the next 4 years?
Well, I think, first and foremost on my priorities to get the GFL temporary hospital open, and then we really have to fix the electrical system. Healthcare is huge for us. I think the recovery is going well. We just got projects that keep cranking out. We're going to definitely have some capacity problems in terms of manpower, but getting people cheap power is going to help our economy tremendously, and it's going to help with the sustainability of the new Virgin Islands we're building. Well, St. Croix, end to end, we've done tremendous development into the infrastructure, and then on top of that, we worked really hard in getting the refinery back open. That's about to come open again, and then tripling the amount of cruise ship tourists we're going to have this year from 40,000 to like 140,000 tourists. All of that is important in us trying to make St. Croix the new center of economic development in the Virgin Islands. I mean, they have the most space, the most resources, but we just haven't been able to get that ship sailing quite right. So we're off to a good start now again with the construction and the tourism, but I'm expecting the refinery to come out and a lot more new hotel rooms and attractions for people to enjoy. I've studied this government for over 30 years, and I'm a real nerd about it in terms of creating good policy that has really structural change throughout the government. So you could pave a road or build a building, but when you have good policy that drives economic change, that helps you with the taxes, that allows for home ownership, that fixes the power in the utility system, those are the kind of things that are going to be legacy things. I mean, it's 4 years, but if I could do anything, I would fix our education system so we're producing really more and more top-notch students and putting them into the global marketplace.
So while campaigning, I'm sure you heard a lot from your constituents. Is there any, disappointments from your first term or anything that you want to improve upon over the next 4 years?
Yeah, we did a really lousy job of getting people out of those blue roofs in the first 4 years. And we really got to do a lot of work with the Housing Finance Authority. I mean, it's not directly under me. It's run by a board, but I get blamed for everything, and I take responsibility for a lot. So we want to really get that up and get that done. That's 400 people that we're completely rebuilding their homes. So it's a massive, massive undertaking, but we got to do better. I just really want to thank the voters out there that gave me the vote of confidence. I mean, it's really rough when it's like the majority of the votes come from your employees. So it's like being CEO of a company, and then after 4 years, they vote on whether they're going to keep you or not. So much appreciation to the Virgin Islands public for really supporting Tregenza and I for this next 4 years. You're going to be blown away with what we're going to do.
And best of luck to them over the next 4 years. Well, we have a couple of updates to tell you about regarding the distribution of Social Security stipend checks. As we reported, the Office of Management and Budget is currently distributing the checks to eligible residents, $500 checks made available to seniors who are on disability through the American Rescue Plan Act funds to help people out from the economic hardship stemming from the COVID-19 pandemic. While the OMB will extend distribution through next week, it is encouraging recipients to use the check by mail option to receive those Social Security stipends. To do so, you can send an email to arpa@omb.vi.gov with SSA stipend in the subject line, and provide the following information you see on your screen: your name, the last 4 digits of their Social Security number, phone number, and correct home address. Meantime, the OMB suspended Social Security stipend distribution on St. Croix and will resume issuing checks next week, November 14th through the 18th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. with an alphabetical drive-through process at the Agriculture Fairgrounds. On your screen is which day you should head to the fairgrounds to get your check based on your last name. On St. Croix, check distribution was suspended Wednesday after large crowds gathered at the parking lot of the VIA building, and it just wasn't enough space for the volume of people. Distribution will continue as scheduled on St. Thomas next week from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, at the Schneider Regional Medical Center front parking lot. On St. John, the checks continue to be made available at the St. John Administrator's Office. But again, the OMB is now urging retirees to use the mail option. The $500 payment will be issued to about 22,000 Social Security recipients who are seniors or disabled adults. We have new images to bring you on the impact Nicole has had in the Bahamas. Nicole arrived on shore in the Bahamas as a Category 1 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 75 miles per hour on Wednesday. The footage here on your screen shows the flooding left behind as a result of the storm. The New York Post reported several power outages in Grand Abaco, and according to our USVI news correspondent, DeAndre Hamilton, who is in the Bahamas, the all clear has since been given for the entire Northwest Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, Abaco, and the Berry Islands. So let's bring in AJ Mastrangelo now for a first check of the forecast, because you're still tracking Nicole, which is now hitting the mainland state of Florida.
Yeah, Emily, we are tracking Nicole, still a very expansive wind field right now. Still a tropical storm. Luckily, we haven't been seeing those hurricane force wind gusts that we saw overnight. But as we continue over these next several hours, the tornado risk is definitely elevated for the southeastern United States. As you can see, the current advisory, 45-mile-per-hour winds moving northwest at 15 miles per hour. We still do have those tropical storm warnings issued for both sides of the upper portions there of Florida, stretching up towards Georgia and South Carolina. The storm is scheduled to move further north as we continue on into our night tonight. 39 to 57-mile-per-hour winds can be felt all the way from Charleston, South Carolina, down towards Tampa Bay, Florida. And we are expecting this wind field to shrink as it encounters more land here over the next couple of days. Nicole will continue to churn northward, bringing a lot of rain to the eastern coast of the United States.
Thanks, AJ. This week, a woman is extradited from the state of Kentucky to the Virgin Islands for allegedly bilking a St. Croix woman out of thousands of dollars. 30-year-old Theodosia Woodley is facing charges including forgery and grand larceny. The charges stem from an investigation which started in April of last year by VIPD's Economic Crimes Unit. We're having a little bit of issues with our graphics, so you don't see our mugshot, but detectives say in February of 2021, Woodley and another suspect who is also wanted in the case took a victim's checkbook, forged her signature, and wrote 11 checks totaling more than $8,500 without the victim's permission. A warrant was issued for their arrest, and police nabbed Woodley in Henderson, Kentucky on Wednesday. VI police brought her back to St. Croix to face the charges against her. A female victim of convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein drops her sexual abuse allegations against lawyer Alan Dershowitz. Virginia Giuffre issued a statement saying her allegations against Dershowitz were a mistake. Dershowitz had always denied the claims, and the two sides filed defamation claims against each other regarding the accusations. After the allegations were dropped, Dershowitz issued a statement repeating that he never assaulted Giuffre, but he added that he thinks Giuffre did believe her allegations against him were true when she first came forward. According to both parties, this resolution did not involve a payment to either side. Epstein was indicted on trafficking charges back in 2019 and died in jail while waiting to go on trial. He owned private islands in the USVI.